Ah, there you are. I appreciate your restraint. Most people would have a hard time walking among a camp full of Zorops. Controlling, yes. Exploiting? No, I don't think so. Oh, surely your experience in battle has taught you the benefits of having unconventional allies? These Zorops and I have formed a symbiosis, like the poor frog and the abyss viper.
Gods help me. This guy is making sense.
I provide them with safety, prey, and peace, and they help me further some of my more controversial goals.
Vamos a tener que pelear contra todos estos güeyes, güey.
Wars are won with words as well as weapons. Choose yours carefully. You may have noticed a couple of things about Emerald Stair. The people are pushing against nature, and nature is pushing back. The Animancers with their soul machines are poisoning the land, driving it to find new ways to protect itself. As a result, the plants are rising up, and the land has afflicted us with the Dream Scourge. It is doing what it can to survive.
Vienen a internarse y cruzar las horas de la gran expensa cumplir el cometido. Sí, güey. A eso
I
venimos.
thought you'd be much less short-sighted. I guess I read you wrong. All right. Stop me.
Is that all you got? Watch the left. Time to rally.
Su puta madre. Ay, güey, espérate, este no.
Left. Left. Stay down.
Vea, ¿dónde? Aquí está.
You're a
¡Ey,
good
páralo! Ay, no se murió este güey.
Hey! Over here!
Hello again, friend. Have you looked in on those Zorops?
Ay.
Thank
Ya no
you,
molestarán
friend.
más.
I don't need the details, really. Just thank you for your help. I will let the Rangers know that the Zorops are no longer a problem. My guess is that will come as a relief. Take this for your troubles, friend. I suppose we'll get to work replacing these machines.
Muy bien, ¿y este qué?
How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike?
Ay, espérate. Oye, está más mal traducido eso de godlike, ¿no? Creo.
In that case, you're right on time.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion.
O sea, no es como que la palabra correcta, güey.
Very well. I hope you remember that behind these walls, your influence has limits.
I'm sure he didn't come all this way just to challenge your authority. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around. and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The dream scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now our farms. Then there's no time to waste arguing with bureaucrats.
We definitely agree on that.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the dream scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did.
Necesitas probar el problema.
Before we can deal with the dream scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Must be nice that all the arguing isn't about you, for once.
I'm just trying to stop Ciudad from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the dream scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. Really? Unexpected from an Adiran. But how could I refuse an offer like that? Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Ciudad.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Ciudad Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Mesiverno.
Banished?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Ciudad is an outcast.
Vere. Pues vámonos.
This is unacceptable. Your father would have kept this community together at any cost.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Mesiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
I'll find us another bedroll.
Habla. Ok, vamos a hablar con Stark. ¿Dónde? Ay, güey. ¿Está abajo? Está aquí, ¿no? Ah, sí.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giata, some manners, if you please.
Why start now?
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. I can think of one. He's an entitled little worm who can't stand to be proven wrong.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Mesiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone.
I wish I could take credit for Giata's stubbornness, but she learned that on her own.
Thanks, old man. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want. On my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers.
Estoy deseando trabajar contigo.
Likewise. This should be educational for us both. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Wouldn't that be a coincidence? I only bring it up because Anamancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by...
Empacar.
No, sorry. I don't know what came over me. I just realized this is the end. I have to leave your Miss Iverno. Forever.
Todo el tiempo que necesito para
As
pensarlo.
much as I would love that, we're already out of time. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. I hope so, because we're running out of options. Monto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fjord. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge.
Okay.
You're about to make history. But first, research.
I'd offer to shake your hand, but I've been elbow deep in Beatrice all day. Beatrice. You know, the one with her viscera on display? As you can see, this is my reanimated corpse farm.
We can smell it, too.
I'm trying to demonstrate the value of undead labor. But of course, nothing is ever that simple. What am I supposed to do? Just let them decompose? Reanimated corpses are the future of manual labor. Cost-effective, low maintenance, and very friendly. Now,
¿qué no
Beatrice,
se
she's
supone?
being a real problem, if you can believe it. Would you be a dear and reach into her guts? Feel around for anything that doesn't belong. Giada
Ajá.
Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor. I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? He's a bigger fool than I thought. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. You did? That was quick. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young Revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace.
Cuando mato cosas y no sé ni por qué.
So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge. They have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen. And end up like Giata. No, thank you. The corpses, they need me. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say.
¿Qué pedo con mi atención? Está mal, güey.
Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giat are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock. Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend?
Ey, ¿por qué me hablan como estúpido, güey?
Remy, take a note. Fluent speech and upright posture show marks of sophistication in the endangered godlike. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
Sobre
I
nuestro
suppose we owe
Nico.
her a favor. Or two.
Giada must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giada needs to finish her research. Deal?
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go around the wheel, you might not get so lucky.
Volver, no fortaleza una clase de hongo.
Ooh, good answer.
My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us?
Pues sí.
Oh, you believe we need your help. Interesting.
Oh, I thought of another.
No mames,
We
todo
all
el mundo
know
me
that
está pidiendo
godlike can
favores, güey.
reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Very optimistic, aren't we? I
Siempre.
think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So,
Influenciando
Giada wants
gente.
to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
La mala
There's
primero.
no cure for the dream scourge, much in the way that there's no cure for an avalanche.
Giada will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the dream scourge, a pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Of course. The idea is a bit high-minded. Adra acts like a pathway for souls as they rejoin the wheel.
And the dream scourge is a plague of the soul, is it not?
So, just as Adra channels essence, so too may it provide a key to discovering more about the Dream Scourge. An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh soccer, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell.
Así como que medio pesado, güey.
I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop.
El Stro. Okay.
Giada. What a loss. I owe that young woman more than I could ever repay. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. A novel idea, that. What I need is a stronger power source.
No puedes animantearla y ya.
We can't make something out of nothing. we're still limited by our resources. I could use a large single block of Atra, but harvesting it is difficult in this environment. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. Indeed, but that well is almost dry. I need more. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgon queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgon in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgon queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
Ay,
A welcome visitor.
espérate.
It has been
Ahorita.
so long since one of your kind has walked in this grove.
Ah, sí es ruca, güey, sí le puedo caer bien.
I
¿Tal vez
mean
dinero?
one from the land, your kind. But why have you come here?
Tal vez puedas... tal vez puedas ayudarme.
A curious thing for Kith to want. Even one as special as you. It belonged to one who tended this grove for longer than I have been here.
Que no están dispuestos a desprenderse de él. Hay que sacarle plática.
Sickness changed them, as it has recently changed so many creatures in these woods. It no longer recognized us as their kin. We had to stop them before their madness damaged the land.
Pues mira, como es mujer, güey. Bueno, aparentemente. Porque es un árbol. Está mal que asuma su género. Pero tiene la voz y facción. Así que mejor vamos a callarnos y vamos a dejar que hable.
But it is over now. All that remains is their heart. Our kind has no need for such remembrances. It would cause us no pain to part with it. But wait. No. No. So many dead. So many of my kin are dead by your hand.
¿Puede explicarlo?
The time for words has passed.
Ah, no mames, güey. Ay, güey. Ay, go. Espérate. Ay, cabrón. Espera, ¿qué está pasando? Ay, ¿quién me acaba de agarrar una nalga? Güey, dispárale. No mames, por atrás. Ay, son honguitos. ¡Ay, cabrón! Ver, ya nos está aventando su caca. Somos cochinos. Sí, güey, no te muevas. No mames, yo caché, güey, espérame. Ahí vienes tú, mamón. Ay.
Let's see what you got. I got you.
Ay, güey.
Looking good.
¿Qué traigo aquí? Ah, mira nomás. Puta, güey, si lo hubiera dado. Ay, güey.
Left leg. Hey, over here.
Ay, cabrón. Ve, ya se fue la cocina. No, o sea. No mames, se ve peleando un pichongo, güey. Como si fuera qué, güey. Habilidad que te permite usar armas de dos manos en una sola, güey. Eso estaría chido, güey.
For an Adiran, you're very resourceful. And a more than capable companion for poor Giada.
O sea, imagínate poder traer dos de esas achotas, güey. Con las dos manos.
Now that I've got a heart, my thirsty invention will drink deeply of its essence. All that's left to do is calibrate it.
Digo, sueltas dos madrazos con cada uno y te cansas, güey, pero estaría chido.
No, not to worry, just testing your reflexes. Let's start with an easy one. You wake up on a beach, looking up into the sun. Your hands are covered in blood. Right. Let's try some word association. Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Pendulum.
Adivinación. Pues transformación, ¿no? Supongo.
A spark ignites a flame. An idea ignites a war.
Hello? You still with me? No, we should stop. This has gone far enough. Let's go over your results. Your soul has a fascinating internal structure. Perfectly balanced. An artist couldn't have made it better. Your godlike nature is a marvel to behold. God, my condolences. Those two are a handful, even for animancers. What I see is something entangled about your soul. An outside presence that both is and isn't a part of you. It's old, dark, and rather tricky to pin down. Very interesting. The stress of war can leave a mark on the soul, but this is different. Quite different. Fascinating. Thank you for getting my machine calibrated again. But you came for Giada's theory of the dream scourge. Between the two of us, she's on to something. Our farms are in great peril. The essence has been drained from the land, diverted, like the flow of a river. Purposeful, maybe, but to what end? Regardless, essence doesn't just disappear. It must be going somewhere. All I can tell you is keep looking. You'll find what you're after. As much as I hate giving people bad news, that's all I have. Please give Giada my fondest regards.
Something the matter? I hope none of my colleagues scared you off. Good timing.
Okay.
I'm about ready to get started. So, did you learn anything of particular interest? That's the fun part of metaphysics. Everything is strange, but nothing is new. Look at us. Barely even started, and already we're making progress. Monto's machine is working, Elia will keep an eye on her revenants, and Yvette and Remy are providing us an alibi. And every bit of it was critical to our research. I needed those animancers for more than their expertise. Monto's invention nullifies spiritual interference. Having it up and running means we won't get any false signals. Whenever I tap into an Adra pillar, Elia's farmhands tend to get a little bitey. Thanks to you, they won't be a problem. And then there's Yvette and Remy, the governor's eyes and ears. In exchange for privacy, I gave them a test subject. I'd call that a good day's work. Now we just need the right equipment for the job. When my parents died, they left me their life's work. An invention like no other. The phantasmal focus. Well, that's where I need your help. The problem is it's in the basement. I haven't gone down there since the accident. Since they died.
I'm sure everything's fine. It's just a spooky death basement.
I would get it myself, but I'm not ready to face what's down there. The door to the basement is just outside, around the corner. Of course you'll need a key. Please excuse the mess.
Pero pues no va a querer, güey, porque pues si ya se sintió mal.
Glad we can spare from having to go back.
Okay, walking into the basement of an animancer I just met.
No creo que quiera que sea atendida, güey. Y aparte, pues si ya dio el varo. Nah, ven, qué cantidad tan ridícula de texto. Vamos a hacer de cuenta que no están esos libros.